Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of the Bellied Up podcast. We are bellied up here in Chicago.
Behind enemy lines, ladies and gentlemen. Miles convinced me to come down to Chicago, do a little bellied up.
We're at Snickers Bar and Grill off of, what street was this? Illinois Street?
We're on
State Street.
We're on State
Street. We're bellied up to the bar, and Charlie and I had ourselves a morning this morning.
We did have ourselves a morning. We were on the news. WGN, me and Miles. You guys can probably Google it, see the clip.
Also, I just got a good waft of weed, by the way.
I did get a good waft of weed. Yeah.
Someone walked by hitting a pen.
Yeah, it's pen weed, too.
It's not that I would know.
I'm well acquainted. This did not come out of a pipe. I can guarantee you that.
Anyways, we did. First Bellied Up Live was this week.
Yeah. Oh, that's right, because we're talking in future tense.
Yeah.
It's actually tomorrow, which I just broke the whole fifth wall of it.
Yeah, tomorrow we're doing Bellied Up Live at Zany's.
Yep.
And then this comes out after that. So
it was a great show, guys.
It was awesome.
It was super cool.
I was the star.
He was. We got him the pink bananas in the green room. And ladies and gents, we're going to do more of these. It was such a success that we're coming to your city.
Well,
check your lowest,
let's not
newest listing.
The cart before the horse.
Miles, it's about speaking truth into life.
Okay.
Speak your
self-fulfilling prophecy.
Yes. What you say becomes your intention, becomes your truth. The end.
Yeah.
Okay?
So in a couple weeks episodes, we'll know for sure a little what the plan is.
Yes, we will. So anyway, we were on the news though. Miles deuced in the green room.
Yeah. Really, Charlie? So I show up early.
Way early.
You know, classic guy from Fargo worried about the traffic. You know, you leave an hour before you need to.
I should have been worried about the traffic.
And I show up in the green room. It's a decent, you know, it's good, but it's a small room.
Yeah.
And then there's a bathroom. And, you know, like in the old school buildings, there's like there's the door, but then on the bottom, there's like the slots. So it's like actually open.
Yeah, you can see the feet.
Yeah, you can
That's
see
how you
the
know
feet.
if it's
so the bathroom door actually wasn't a solid door. At the bottom, there was like, you know, open slots. And I start gripping the ceramic.
Oh, it's a gripper and ripper.
And I just start unloading on this toilet. And I'm like, I don't know if you guys have ever tried to poop quietly. It never works.
Nah, because you get that tension and, you know.
So then I had probably like 3 or 4 courtesy flushes because I didn't know who was going to walk into the green room. Yeah, it turned into the brown room. And luckily no one showed up till a little bit later. And so that was that. So all that happened. And the lady comes in and is like, all right, we're ready for you. Where is Charlie?
Oh, no.
You know, and the amount of times I have to answer the question, where is Charlie?
Yeah.
Without knowing the answer.
Yeah.
It's I covered for you. Said, oh,
Thank you.
he'll be here any second.
Is that what you said? Or did you say, yeah, that asshole's late all the time?
Well, I did say, like, does he usually do this when he comes on here? And she was kind of like, oh, I don't think so. So she covered for you.
Oh, did she?
But Charlie showed up right as we're about to go on air.
I meant, what did you say to her? Did you say that I'm
the sound check guy was stressed because he wanted to mic you up and make sure you're good to go.
Was he?
Yeah.
Did he get over it? That was rude of me. It was rude. Well, here's the deal. Here's the situation. Let me explain my morning before that. Because I woke up, I checked in late to the hotel. Okay. I did valet the car.
Which is like kind of what you have to do in Chicago, right? There's like...
It was described to me as the only option to me at the time. And I just had to get to bed. And I wake up in the morning and then I request it on my phone. I realize $75.
Yeah.
I could have just stayed at the Motel 6 on the way in for $75 and my car could have slept for free. I could have just parked the car in the parking lot, slept in my car for free. So I was going through this math. I was upset. Anyways, I go downstairs to get the car because you got requested by the thing. Car's there, nobody else's, no keys, no guy. I'm like, shit. And then I get the text from Miles. I'm here. I'm like, well, I'm not, dude.
He's not even in his car.
No, and I was going to wait till I was at least 15 minutes out to give him a call, which I did. But anyways, I'm waiting. So I request an Uber, and then the Uber's coming. I'm like, where's this guy? The guy shows up, and then I'm like, hey, fella, I'm sorry. I need my keys. And he's like, I need the money. And I was like, yeah, I don't have cash. Who only accepts cash for the VIP? I said, can you tell the front desk I'll pay you when I get back? And I'll also leave a tip for you because, I know that, but I have a thing. If he's still there after I go back after this, I hope he's working all day. What I'm going to say to him is, dude, he didn't know my name. So I'm going to say, let's just not tell the front desk about this. I give you $40 straight cash. That's going to be $20 more than the tip I was going to give you because I know you're working hard for your money. And then we just don't tell the hotel that you parked the car. If you want, I'll juice it up
So
to
he
50.
gave you the car without paying?
Yeah. That's how it went,
And
Miles.
then after our
and then
interview, we went to go get some breakfast, and we're leaving the restaurant, and Charlie looks at me and goes, do you have my keys? And I said, Charlie, why on earth would I have your keys?
I don't know.
At what point would I have pocketed you for your keys?
Something
what
you would do.
What would be my angle there to do that? And so he went back in the restaurant looking for it. He came back out and said, Charlie, did you leave your keys in your car? And
Sure did.
Sure enough, he did.
Sure did. Unlocked on the streets of Chicago.
And then he proceeded to, I told him, I said, Charlie, every single time I meet up with you, I think you can't outdo yourself. And every single time you do.
I didn't outdo myself yet.
And then he goes, this never happens. And I said, this only happens. This is standard baseline.
Is it though, Miles?
A little bit.
Well, you forgot to mention that before I figured out I lost my keys, I know that my buddy Miles is a Frenchman, mon plaisir,
Oui.
and he likes his baguettes. And so we were right next to an authentic French bakery with 4.5 review on Yelp, and I purchased him a little yummy treat to try. So we're going to do it right here. I got you. Well, it doesn't look super appetizing, I'll be honest with you.
That must have been the one that they put in the glass to be a display one.
It was like the last one left. So you want to try it? It's got
You
raisins.
gotta try it with me.
Yeah, I'll try it. This is from La Fournette. La Fournette.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Charlie, I'm a bread guy. I don't know if you knew that about me. But yeah, it's good.
Yeah, I think it's good too.
So thanks for the baguette. What was it? What was it actually called?
I don't know. It's like a raisin cinnamon roll without the
croissant.
cinnamon.
Je mange un croissant. Oui.
Have you been to Paris? I forget.
Never been to Europe.
Oh, yeah. You said you're going to go there.
I'll go there some point.
What town? I'm waiting.
I don't know. Lots of them. I didn't.
Okay. Oh, so you're going to go backpack around Europe.
Yeah.
You're going to have your baby in the backpack.
Yep.
Or you're going to get the folks to watch your baby while you and Ann go
Oh
gallivanting.
no,
Europe.
Ann won't let us leave him anywhere.
No. Why would happen?
Well, she's just like she wants to be the parent that brings their kid along on the experiences.
Have you guys never gotten a babysitter?
No, we have.
Okay.
But just on vacations and stuff.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
She
yeah.
wants the baby to be part of it.
Yeah. So,
Oh, okay,
which
that's
I'm
nice.
not against.
No.
I think it's fun.
Chill dude. Handsome fella.
Yep.
I mean,
he's
my
starting
God.
to walk now, Charlie.
Is he?
Mm-hmm. And he's really good at shaking his head no. Can't talk yet, but he can sure shake his head no.
Dude, I believe that. I mean, he is your child. And you look at him, dude, that head of hair, he looks like he's got a scholarship to a Big Ten school.
Yeah, he's a
to
guy. He
play
looks like he
quarterback.
works in finance already. He's got a banker cut.
That's it.
We now have to give him a haircut every 4 weeks.
Really?
Yeah. Otherwise, he bitches about it being in his eye,
How does he do that if he can't talk?
whining and crying. It's usually how babies do it.
Yeah. I could have probably put those pieces of the puzzle together.
Well, Charlie, should we take some callers here at Snickers here in Chicago?
Let's do it, Miles.
Michael, you got Charlie and Miles from the Bellied Up podcast. I hear that you think Wisconsin's better than Wisconsin. Is that true?
I think there's a strong possibility there.
All right, Michael. First of all, a little background on yourself. Where are you from?
So I'm from Illinois, which makes me probably a neutral third party to this whole situation because I'm looking at it from an outsider in.
Okay. Are you from Chicago, Illinois, or are you just from Flatlander?
I'm a Flatlander.
Okay.
I'm unfortunately just out there a little bit.
No, I get it. So
that actually builds your credibility.
Yeah, because if you were like a hardcore Bears fan or something, I would say you may tilt more toward Minnesota because the Packers-Bears rivalry. But I'm getting the sense we'll just call it you're an even deal. Go ahead.
I look at it more from just Wisconsin prides itself on the outdoors, the beer drinking. Minnesota's got more lakes. I think Minnesota's just being humble when it comes to the beer drinking because I think if you put two of them side by side, it might be an equal, if not more competitive than we think. I think Minnesotans are just out being more Midwestern nice and just being humble about the whole situation.
Okay.
Yeah. So what you're saying is Wisconsinites are loud and proud.
I'd say I don't want to say they're loud and proud because let's be real, we're all from the Midwest and not very loud and proud. We're all pretty humble. I just feel that maybe Minnesota just out humbles them a little bit more. They don't.
We have a humble off. We have a humble off between Wisconsin and Minnesota. Also, he calls in with a declaration that Minnesota out Wisconsin's Wisconsin. Then he's like, well, I wouldn't go that far.
He just gently walks it back.
Yeah.
This is the most Midwest phone call right here with you doing that. I do have to go ahead.
Well, I got to let you know. I'm right now traveling the Midwest of Europe. I just got back to Germany from Poland in the Czech, and I'm telling you, this is pretty Midwest out here too.
Yeah, Germany's pretty Midwest.
Yeah, it's nothing but beer drinking and countryside out here. I don't know.
Beer and brats. Yeah,
beer and brats. Yeah.
Did you just blow your nose?
No.
Did you just do a line of cocaine? What's going on over there?
No, I'm looking for my passport, if I'm being honest.
Oh, okay. All right. Well,
Charlie knows that song and dance all too well.
Yeah.
I have.
Charlie is perpetually looking for his passport.
Well, not right now. It's expired, actually. But let's dive into this.
Okay, so you're saying that you think Minnesota drinks more beer than Wisconsin, and they have more lakes, and they're more outdoorsy. Anything else?
100%. I think that's where it is. I feel like that's it right there.
Yeah.
That in a nutshell sums up Wisconsin, does it not? I don't know.
No,
they
it
might
doesn't.
have more cows.
Yeah, we do have for sure more cows. Okay, America's dairyland. But also, I think we have more lakes. It's just we are not pretentious about it. On the license plate in Minnesota, it says "Land of 10,000 lakes" or whatever the hell it says.
Has anyone actually counted though?
Yeah, they have. And guess what? Wisconsin's got 15,000, but we don't need to flaunt it. We don't need to just flaunt crap on our license plate, except for America's Dairyland, but that happens to be factual. Okay. So listen, I need to know where you're getting off, my guy, saying that, Minnesota is kind of out Wisconsining Wisconsin. Like, what have you experienced? When was the last time you were in Wisconsin? When was the last time you were in Minnesota? Or is this just a general vibe feel from what you're seeing on the internet?
So, no, I was in Minnesota earlier this year, and that's where I started the argument here with a coworker that actually lived in Wisconsin. And I was like, I was in the state of Minnesota for maybe 5 minutes, met a handful of people, and all they talked about were their deer, that they're, that they're just walking through their front yard, and, maybe they're going to harvest it, maybe they won't. And I think I was handed maybe 5 different types of deer sticks within 5 minutes of being there.
What city?
I mean, it was just Rogers, Minnesota.
Oh yeah.
Is that over by you?
Well, no, you gotta go through Rogers from Fargo to Minneapolis. So.
Oh, okay. How is it like middle of the state?
Is Rogers where they got the Cabela's? Oh yeah, they got a Cabela's over there in Rogers.
Well, you can't compare. You can't compare a Cabela's town in Minnesota to like just any town in Wisconsin, too. When was the last time you were in Wisconsin?
I'd say it'd probably been a year ago.
Okay. All right. What town?
Yeah, it's been a little while. Probably the Lake Geneva area.
Oh, yeah.
No,
That's
it was.
Fibland,
No,
man.
we went to the racetrack over there, Great Lakes.
Okay. All right. Well, I think you gotta get a comparable.
So to be honest, like my wife and I love Wisconsin.
Right.
And to the point. I mean, we love. Typical Fib, right? We'll go up north for a weekend drive just to drive and get away from everybody, right? But I'm telling you, going to Minnesota really surprised me, and it honestly it made me question it a little bit.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm not sure how I feel about
so
this.
are you saying, I think what you're saying is Wisconsin's turning into a little bit of, there's too many Chicagoans changing the culture of Wisconsin is what it sounds like, Charlie.
It could be, or I mean, I don't know. I'm not from Minnesota, but do Minnesota look at the Wisconsin people as like Wisconsin looks at the Illinois people?
Oh no!
And they're just too humble to even talk about.
Yeah, it's kind of like Minnesota, like Wisconsin for Midwest stuff is kind of like the fancy spread air raid college football offense, and Minnesota is kind of the power T, 3 yards in a cloud of smoke, hand the ball to the ref and run the damn ball. In terms of Midwest values, is kind of what you're saying. They just nothing flashy about it. They just do their work. They don't. They don't need any credit. They just do the work. Where Wisconsin's out there being
they get
flashy,
the job done.
Talking about watching out for deer constantly.
Okay.
Oh, we have 4,000 types of cheese curds here. Come buy all of our cheese. Have they become too commercial?
Yeah.
Are you talking about Wisconsin or just me right now, Miles?
But I mean, it gives a good, perspective of as an outsider looking into Wisconsin. That's what it looks like, right? I don't see any commercials in Illinois about come visit Minnesota unless it'll be a lake or something. And
that's true.
You got Culver's, cheese, and it's and the Packers. I mean, they're just annoying to everybody, aren't they?
No, listen, you bastard. Wisconsin, you're getting commercials for Wisconsin because it's a neighboring town. The state of Wisconsin, their visitor bureau is doing commercials to you because it's cheaper and because we're not doing them to Minnesota because they got a lot of lakes and they're not going to come down here anyway. So that's trying to get you, a Flatlander, up to Wisconsin. All right.
I think I can pinpoint the time that Wisconsin started to get a little bit full of themselves, and you guys may know what I'm talking about. It was when the study came out of the drunkest counties in the US, and like of the top 10, 9 of them were all in Wisconsin, and then you guys started walking around with your chest up, 2 beers in hand, like, yeah, we're the drunkest state in all the land. And I think that might have been the turning point. And you know what map I'm talking about. You've seen it.
Not only have I seen it, everybody brings it up to me in casual conversation every chance they can get.
I think if you Google it, it's probably going to be the number 1 hit that you're going to get on Google right now.
That's right.
Yeah.
And I think this is a good moment, to remind Wisconsin, Charlie, to do your job. You guys aren't going to stay the drunkest city by, getting full
Resting
of yourself.
on our laurels.
Yeah, you guys got to be out there tailgating. You got to be out there 9 a.m. on a Sunday just hammering beers and cheese. And if you guys get comfortable in all your success of being the drunkest state in the U.S., someone's going to dethrone you guys. And I think this is actually a good moment.
You know,
And don't get me wrong, I'm not hating on Wisconsin at all. I just thought it was a valid point to bring up. And, both states are beautiful. It's they both have their ups and, their positives. I just think it was just a good debate to have. And I didn't know who else to bring it to than you two guys that could possibly put an end to this.
Well, I'm feeling less threatened now. I was feeling threatened before by you, and that's where my lashing out came from.
Don't.
So I apologize.
No need to feel threatened. This is actually, if you guys could put it to rest, this has been going between a coworker and me for probably a few months now. We've been debating this.
Listen,
it's been a challenge. It's hard to get past this, to be honest.
Well, listen, I do think Minnesota has a lot of things that could be considered more Wisconsin. Okay. But I don't think it's fair to say Minnesota out Wisconsin's Wisconsin. What I do think is you have a troubling sample size for Wisconsin. And I think you got to go to a bunch of different areas of Wisconsin to get the full picture. Like, it doesn't sound to me like you've been north of 8 too much, and I think you got to get up there to the Eagle River side of life, and
I agree.
Yeah. And because you don't want to just be in the Lake Geneva area making your decisions about Wisconsin, because that's practically,
Chicago Junior.
Well, I definitely was not going to call it that. But, there is a big Chicago influence there. So, to really get the purest sample size, that's like if you're trying to find walleyes in the lake and you just go up to the reeds and you scoop some water out and all you guys tadpoles and you're like, there must not be any walleyes in here, No, you were just in tadpole territory. No, and there are still some, people in anyway, I'm over my heels here, but
it's
fair to the sample size.
What you're saying here, Charlie, is maybe what he's talking about. Instead of you going, owning up and saying maybe we could get back to our roots more, you deflected and you kind of gaslighted him into thinking that he was wrong. So I just want to say that. And
Miles, did you just read a self-help book or some shit?
And maybe this is a good opportunity for you, Charlie, to go, hey, let's get back to what got us the drunkest state. Let's get back to the basics, the fundamentals. You guys are getting so fancy with all your cheeses and all of your championships that you won 50, 60 years ago. You're getting so fancy with all. Let's get back to the basic. Let's build a good football team. Let's drink heavily all the time. Let's just eat cheese. We don't need all the fancy jalapeno versions. Let's just get back to fucking cheddar cheese.
This is your advice, Miles? Let's drink all the time?
Well,
I don't think that's...
There's some other state licking their chops at you guys right now. They're like, they are primed and ready to topple the champ because you guys think that there's no way you can lose.
Listen,
and I don't know if you are a Bible guy, Charlie, but have you ever read the story about David and Goliath?
Yeah, I've heard of it.
Yeah, you got to watch out for.
I listened to the audio.
You got to watch out for states like Michigan and Illinois. Yeah. They're coming for the throne.
Or Minnesota.
Or Minnesota.
To bring it all. Yeah,
Iowa, yeah. And
there's a sleeper.
Just when everyone thought Goliath couldn't lose. Just when he thought that no one could be drunker than Goliath.
Oh, okay.
David comes along and puts on a clinic, puts 230 racks down in an evening, and still gets to walk home.
I hope he's walking home.
And maybe, my biggest comparison was maybe Minnesota and Wisconsin. But you're right. Maybe Iowa's in the mix here I don't think they're at the level yet, and they're in the minor leagues possibly at this moment, but you never know, right?
Now that's some fighting words. Telling the people of Iowa they're in the minor leagues. I would love to see what Iowa thinks of that. Wow, they're not even in the big leagues.
You know what I mean?
What he means is they don't have one major league team in the entire state. I mean, how is that possible? It's population, right? That's the reason.
Yeah.
Yeah. More people need to start boinking in Iowa, and then they'll get themselves an NFL team. Well, I hear where you're coming from. I don't agree, but it's a lot of good food for thought, and I appreciate you bringing it up. Appreciate the call. And you have some fun in Germany. What are you doing tonight?
Tonight we're just kind of hanging out tonight, going to the beer garden. Probably going to have a couple beers and a bratwurst and some chicken wings, and then hike up a mountain and get back to where I'm staying. So
good.
We'll see how that goes.
Good. Don't fall off.
I'll try not to.
All right. Well, thanks for calling in, and we appreciate you.
Yeah, thanks, gentlemen. Look out for deer.
All right, you too. Stags too over there. I mean, I understand where he's coming from. I just feel like you got to have more evidence to bring that to the table. That's all.
I'm just saying you could use this opportunity to stay sharp, Charlie.
Yeah, sharp.
Because where there's one, there's more. There's other people having that thought if he's having that thought.
Yeah.
And
yeah. Minnesota's got a lot of cool spots, no doubt. No doubt. I'm not bragging on
They
Minnesota.
definitely are more humble about like the boundary waters.
I
the
know.
North Shore and all that. It's pretty
Yeah.
nice up there.
It is. It's almost too nice. It's almost too nice.
They let it speak for themselves.
It's almost like a luxurious.
They don't have to have
Wisconsin.
fancy terms like the Malibu of the Midwest,
Dude, that's to sell T-shirts. like
That's a gift shop thing.
I'll give you this. Wisconsin is tackier than Minnesota.
That is true.
Like, have you been to the Wisconsin Dells? That's our thing.
Yeah, it's true. That is true.
Yeah, that's always been our thing. Maybe that's the argument I should have gone with.
We're just tackier.
Yeah.
But tackiness sells, is what you're saying.
Well, I mean, it's just part of our culture, to be a little bit tacky. Like, Malibu of the Midwest, but how else would you know about Sheboygan? I mean,
put a Cabela's there. I knew Rogers.
Exactly. Cabela's, man, that's great. My who was it? My sister. She sent me a picture with her kid looking at a fish at Cabela's, and she goes, "The free Midwest Zoo, Cabela's."
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, the nearest Cabela's to me are in Mitchell, South Dakota, and Rogers. That's how you know you're Midwest, is if you know how all of the closest Cabela's are to you.
Yeah. Trying to think of the closest one to me. I'm trying to think of the town it's in. Slinger, maybe? Yeah, something like that.
All right, should we take another caller?
Let's do it.
It's dead.
Well, Miles, it's warm outside, which means people are out at the lake firing up the pontoon.
I've been doing that.
Now, if I know
Out on the boat, out on the pontoon.
have you? Pontoons. The problem with pontoons is accidents can happen.
That is true.
You can go out there and get a little too close to the propeller or try to do a backflip off the bimini or something, crack a bone. Scrape a knee, something like that. Get injured real bad, Miles.
Yes.
You got
What do
options.
I do? What do I do?
Miles, you call Nicolay. All right? That's 1-855-NICOLAY. You give him a call and you say, hey, pontoon screwed the pooch. Summer's gone, but my bank account doesn't have to be.
That's
and
right.
he'll hook it up. He'll go after those insurance companies that are just trying to screw you over. So give Nicolay a call. Hi, Sandra.
It's Sandra with an O.
Damn it, Sandra.
We got
How
bad
are ya?
intel, all right?
Yeah.
That one's on Jared. He told us Sandra. It's Sandra.
Sandra, it's me, Charlie, and this is Miles with the Bellied Up Podcast.
It's
How
Miles
are
with a
you?
Y.
Hey, guys.
Nice to chit-chat with you, Sandra.
You too. absolutely. Thanks for calling.
Oh yeah, what's going on today?
Oh, today we're working on a bathroom remodel.
Uh-oh. New toilet, new bathtub? What are we putting in there?
We're putting in a shower, new shower. We're tearing out a closet. Not sure what we're doing with the closet yet. We just tore out the closet. We might put some cabinets in there. Not sure yet. But
You find any skeletons while you were in there?
No skeletons, but actually it was kind of interesting when we took off the mirror above the sink. There was some like notes that they took the last time they must have done some work in there. They signed their names and everything, who was living there, and just some notes about measurements in the bathroom. So that was kind of cool.
Oh, that is pretty cool. Any confessions of a murder or anything like that?
Nope, didn't find any evidence of that.
Well, keep looking, keep digging around. That's
okay,
fun though.
We'll see what we can find. Yeah.
So, what do you work for a remodeling company? It's a Monday morning and you're working on a remodel. What's going on?
Well, we actually have a contractor here working on it. We just we did some of the tear out to kind of save them a little work. But we actually have a contractor doing the heavy lifting.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah. We tore everything out there, just replacing everything.
That's the way to do it. Yeah, you do the stuff that, when you go to resell the house, is not going to screw you over,
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah, it's tough to screw out tearing things out, because that's the whole point. But once you start putting things back up to quote unquote code, that's when things can get interesting.
Right, yeah.
Well, Sandra, I know you called in because you would like some free drinks at the bar, and you're wondering why you don't get any. Is that correct?
Exactly. Yeah. Most bars I go to, it's either 1-to-1 or like every other one. The bartender will buy you one. I mean, even there's one bar we go to, you drink free on your birthday, and there's just this one bar in town by me. They won't buy you a single drink. They don't let their employees buy you a drink. If their employees buy you one, that comes out of their paycheck. And you're lucky if you get one free one on your birthday.
And I could tell you this, that's probably the only bar in town that's making money.
Oh.
Has it been there a while, or is it a new bar? Is it a new bar? Is this new bar syndrome? Yeah.
New bar
It's the newest one in town, yeah.
Yeah,
you can tell.
I can tell with the animosity. What's the name of it? Name it and shame it.
It's actually a bowling alley.
It's a bowling alley?
Yeah.
What's it called?
Cardinal Lanes?
Cardinal Lanes? You're never going to get a free drink at Cardinal Lanes ever again.
Ever. Not ever again, ever. She hasn't gotten one.
Yeah, that's true.
It doesn't happen very often anyway. So, like I said, maybe on your birthday.
Are you wanting it too hard? It's kind of like in the dating scene. If you come on too strong, you scare them away. Or deer hunting, if you...
No, they don't give anyone a free drink.
Then why do you keep going there?
I don't very rarely do I, for that reason.
Their core business is bowling. And so...
No, their core business is still alcohol.
Yeah.
Bowling is just a thing.
Bowling is a thing you do.
Anytime there's alcohol involved with an establishment, that is their core business.
All right. I'll take your word for that. I'll take your word for that. Okay.
You bowl better when you're drunk.
Yeah, that is true. What are the instances where you think it should be standard practice for a bar to give a free drink? What are the instances?
Plain and simple. You buy one or two, they buy you one.
Sandra, what the hell kind of business do you think
she's
these
a
places are running?
2-for-1 gal? You need to start going to college joints.
A good business. that is going to get people to come back to your bar.
Okay. Yeah. You're in straight dive bar territory is what we're talking about, where you become friends with the guy behind the bar or just the bartender. And there's a reason that those bars do not fix up their bathroom. And it's not because the potential to do it wasn't there. It's that money got spent buying other people beer. It's like what Scarface said. You remember that? You don't dip into your own stash, or you don't snort your own stash. What did he say, Miles? That's where that comes from. So this, it's just new age owners. They're not aware of the tradition.
They're just trying to do this thing that all the kids are saying, turn a profit.
Yeah. Who wants to do that?
Shit is that?
Well,
We gotta get into the black, so that we can get into the green. It's like, come on.
We want to make a better life for ourselves.
Yeah, we want to be able to retire someday.
Well, let me tell you, there's one bar in town that he's in his mid-50s and he's retired. In the next couple of years, he's got his bar up for sale right now. He's set.
No. You think
he
is not set
until that bar sells.
And like how you said, he's retired in a few years, and I want you to know that cycle will just keep happening. You'll be like, yeah, actually, a couple more years in here, and then I'm going to retire.
What?
He takes some pretty nice vacations too.
Okay.
Oh yeah. Where's he? Well, okay, but
suck it, Charlie.
So and his bar is one that for every two you get, they buy you one.
Oh, sometimes it's 1-to-1.
Wow.
So you know what?
It can be, yeah.
So he's just laundering money.
Yeah, that could be the case too. Bar.
Does he take a lot of trips to the Cayman Islands?
Jamaica mostly.
Yeah, that's a stopping point. He's not going to tell you the final destination.
Yeah. Yeah. Does he have a fleet of Cessnas?
Not that I know of.
You wouldn't know of them either.
Yeah. Is he in the waste management business as well?
No.
Okay.
All right. Well, hey.
Well, I think you're absolutely accurate that when you are drinking at a drug front, you should be able to get a 1-for-1 situation because they need your cash for reasons other than purchasing beer.
Mm-hmm.
I do have some empathy for the new business owner who, isn't going to give you a beer because you bought beers. But I think you can just, with the almighty dollar, I think you can put it where you think it needs to go, and maybe they'll get the lesson.
Also, the old guy might just be marketing or framing stuff better, right? Like they don't at the new place, they're giving you 24-ounce beers.
Yeah.
And they're charging you for it, and they're not going to give you a free one. At the other place, they're giving you 12-ounce beers and then giving you one for free for the same price.
Oh yeah, do they
same
have
amount of beer?
Yeah, do they have more expensive beers?
Like
at
in
the
college,
dive bar?
you go to the penny taps, and the cups are all 8 ounces.
Yeah.
Is it one of those deals?
Is there some funny business? No, it's just standard price for beer.
Yeah, well, there's a couple of them in town where I live that they buy you free ones. There's one where you drink free all day on your birthday.
Yeah.
And he's got a pretty good business too.
Yeah.
I mean, once a year.
Yeah.
And they've been but when you got that many patrons, I mean, and they're all drinking for free on their birthday, and you got some pretty heavy drinkers. I mean,
well, see, he's making money on all the people you bring to the bar with you, because it'd be pretty sad if you're drinking all you can drink on your birthday by yourself. Is usually what the.
Well, sure.
I mean, it can be done.
She had done before.
Well, Sandra, what should the people be doing then? I mean, you're saying that people should start boycotting these new establishments till they get free stuff, or what? What are we supposed to do about this?
It's not that new. I mean, he's not that new. I mean, he's been in town 2-3 years, but I would say just I mean, you got to buy your patrons one once in a while.
I don't disagree with you. I think you're starting to turn me on this. I agree.
I think that's definitely a thing, but yeah. Do you think there's a thing that you could do to like up your chances at a bar for getting a free drink?
I mean, there are things that might have been done when I was in my 20s. Yeah.
Whoa, Sandra,
Okay.
Sandra, what are you talking
Yeah,
about?
do
I'm
tell.
a mom now. I can't.
You're a mom. That's fine. There's a lot of moms named Sandra.
Is the dad maybe a bartender at this bar you talk about?
No.
Well, do tell. What was going on?
Oh, you gotta reveal some things once in a while.
Okay, a little
So-
Mardi Gras action.
You showed your pectoral muscles to a bartender for free drinks. Is that what you're telling me?
I mean, sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do
Wow.
when you get thirsty.
No, I get it. I've
So,
done the
do you
same
think
thing.
that would work for Charlie and I?
Yeah.
Yeah, for the right bartender, probably.
Give it a go, Miles.
Or is it like, do we got to be showing some cheek instead? It's
Some cheek or curd.
Well,
you're the one that brought this up. You don't get sheepish on us now.
It's interesting.
it all depends on the bartender, I guess.
Yeah. What they want, what their preference is, because it's either you're going to get a free drink or you're going to jail. So I think for guys, it's a little bit different because you can get that, people probably like, isn't it funny? Yeah.
She said that's the best way to get a free drink.
Yeah.
Have you tried
exposing
that at
yourself.
that bar? At the bar, you're saying you don't get free drinks. Have you tried that?
No,
Well,
I don't get the vibe there to do that there.
got it. Okay.
Is that how you got free drinks at the other bars?
Well,
Back in the day, yeah.
Back in the day, okay. So you have a long-standing relationship, a history with these bars built on self-exposure.
Not all of them, no.
Okay.
that's a great name for a bar.
Self-exposure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then that's your whole gimmick. If you self-expose, you get a free drink.
Sandra, what do you do for a living?
I work in maintenance at a factory.
Okay. All right. So what do you do at the factory?
I do building maintenance, like janitorial work, and just fixing toilets, changing batteries.
Perfect.
You're a maintenance gal then.
yeah.
Maintenance. You work with your
Yeah,
hands. I
yeah.
like it. So you fix 2 toilets. Your time's up. You're checking out, but your boss says, "Hey, I noticed you fixed 2 toilets. Why don't you fix 2 more on the house?" What would you say to him?
If I don't know, I guess I've given my time off the clock before.
Okay. Okay. I thought you were going to say I'll do it for free beer, but no, I think if you're
Well, my boss would probably give me free beer after work,
okay.
I like that.
All right. Well, you know
but
what?
he doesn't sign my paycheck, so
Yeah. Yeah, I got you.
How'd you get into the maintenance gig?
the position opened up and I applied for it.
Is that your only job you've ever had?
Nope, I was a CNA for about 9 years, and then I worked at the factory I'm at now. I started working in assembly, and then I moved into the maintenance spot.
You like it?
I do, yeah.
That's great.
CNA.
That's nurse.
Certified
Nursing
assistant.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Why'd you get out of the CNA position?
Because I had a young child, and people don't take a break from getting sick or getting old. So I needed a job where I could have a more set schedule because my husband at the time, he was working a lot of weekends, and people don't take weekends from getting sick or getting old. So I had to
Yeah.
get a regular Monday through Friday so that, cause I just felt like I couldn't expect somebody else to put their life on hold to watch my kid on a weekend if my husband and I both had to work.
Yeah. Makes sense.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense.
So now you just leave your kid at home and go to the bar.
No, we go to the bar together now. He's old enough. Yeah,
He's old enough.
He's old enough. He can go to the bar by himself.
He's
How old is he?
getting free Mountain Dews at the bar.
No, he's not even getting free beer at the bar because he was told no free drinks here because he tried at that bar.
Well, how old is he? He's 21.
He's 21. Yeah.
Okay.
Nice.
Yeah. He walked up to the bartender after he bought 2 beers. He walked up to the bartender and he said, "I'll take this one for free." And he was told no free beer drinks here.
Well, for
What
that
the fuck
kind of
are you
entitlement.
Everyone knows that
Oh my
the more
God.
you want free beer, the less free beer you got. Like,
Yeah.
can you imagine walking up to the bar and be like, "I'll take 2 beers, one of them for free, please."
Yeah.
Is that what you're teaching him? That's what you're doing?
A good bartender is going to buy you one every once in a while because then they'll get a better tip.
Yeah, every once in a while.
Wisconsin, for Pete's sake.
Yeah, but not
People
if you
are thirsty.
expect it. Not if you go up there and demand it like that. Then they're going to be like, no, because, people are drinking at the bar.
You shouldn't have to ask. They should
But
just
you guys
do it.
are.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
You just said that. You just said it, Sandra. You said
Because they don't do it.
Hey, Charlie, that's
gotta
what's
tell
wrong
them
with
how to do
these
their
kids
job.
these days. They go to the bar and they just expect free beer.
Sandra, we got people calling in saying that Minnesota is Wisconsining harder than Wisconsin. And I think part of it is because of the attitude of the drinkers.
Yeah.
And this is the kind of thing we got to.
We're the drunkest state in the United States. Our bartender should be giving us free beer all the time.
We're getting too much of an ego on
I
us.
told you
Sandra.
that, Charlie. You didn't believe me.
Like I'm telling you, we got to tamp it down. People are catching on, okay? So, look, we can't be asking for free drinks or expecting it. We got to go in there and,
Earn it.
bat an eye, show a teat, do something for them, I mean, we can't just be expecting it because once we expect it, then it's not fun for the bartender to give it, Goes with other things, too. You know?
Depends on the bartender.
Yeah, it does
A
depend.
good bartender will give you a free one every once in a while.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Keep hammering
See?
it. Yeah.
See?
All right.
And then-
Well, that's
You
a
know
better
what?
question.
Tip
Is
'em
where?
better.
Well, that's a better question then. Where did all the good bartenders go?
Not at that bar. They're at other bars.
You know what's funny is you just have such a grudge hold against this one bar. I love it. I love
Yeah,
it.
is it because
Because they don't buy.
it's just
because
because they don't
get
buy
free
free
drinks.
That would be
It's
like
a bar, not a charity. Also,
that'd be like going to the hardware store and they're like, they're not handing out free snacks.
free sacks.
Snacks.
Oh,
I buy a thing of peanuts and I don't get a second thing for peanuts free. It's bullshit. I'm not
I
going
like how
there.
you're talking about the hardware store for buying snacks.
You go to the Fleet Farm. That's what you're doing.
That's what you got. Corn nuts.
Hey, Charlie,
What?
Fleet Farm gives away popcorn.
Yeah.
See?
That is true.
Yeah.
Well, so do bars. They give away
Yeah,
free
bars give
popcorn.
away free popcorn. You
know what? It sounds like she
good
thinks you
one.
should be giving 1-to-1 free tickets to your shows too, Charlie. You should be going, hey, if your wife or husband buys a ticket, you get the second one free. Is
I'll
what
do
she's
that.
saying.
Sandra, you want to come see a show?
Yeah, I do.
All right. Well,
What are you saying she has to do to get the free ticket, Charlie?
at this point,
I'll show you my big toe.
He is kind of a
Sold.
foot guy, yeah.
Yeah. All right. Where did you say you're living again?
I live in just about 25 minutes south of Fond du Lac.
Oh, okay. All right. We got some coming up in Door County. Is that too far, or Whitewater? Which one's closer?
I would probably say it's about in the middle. I'm in the middle.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, that helps. Manitowoc, that's probably closer.
Yeah.
Does that work?
Yeah.
All right.
Well, first of all, do you want to go to his show? It doesn't,
I don't think she wants to go.
Okay.
You don't want to go?
I do.
All right.
I do, and I'm going to bring my daughter because she met you, Charlie,
Where'd she meet
at
me?
the Brewer game when you threw out the first pitch.
Oh, no
You
kidding.
signed her hat. Yeah,
You gotta be
signed
kidding
her
me.
hat.
All right.
Yes.
Well, we'll give you 4 tickets. How's that sound?
That sounds awesome, Charlie. You are the best.
All right. You betcha.
I will have to say, he's not giving out any free drinks at his shows.
Yeah.
I'm okay
You still
with
want to
that.
come?
Absolutely.
Okay, because if I hear that there's some lady out there showing her big toe trying to get drinks, I'm not going to be happy, Sandra.
I promise.
This is a family show,
I won't show
okay,
my big toe
Sandra?
for free drinks.
All
What's
right. It says it's a family show.
We don't need any big toes showing up.
Oh, no.
All right,
I'll behave myself.
Sandra, we're
Wear
going to text.
socks.
We're going to text you for your full name, and then we'll put you go to Will Call, and you get them. All right. Okay.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Thank you so much.
You betcha. Well, thank you for calling in. And good luck getting this free drink at the bar that they don't want to give you any free drinks at. Just keep demanding it. I think over time it'll work out for you.
Nah.
Yeah.
It's all right.
Yeah. Probably better on it. Go to the Bolero. Maybe they'll give out free drink.
Never know.
You never do, Sandra. Well, good luck
Never
with the
do.
renovation. All right.
Thank you so much.
All right. We'll see you soon now.
I'm with her, You go into a bar,
what do you mean?
you kind of, you don't expect it, but you kind of expect that at some point you're going to get a wooden nickel thrown your way for a future free drink, right?
For sure.
I think the other thing is it also takes a little bit of the thrill out if you're just completely expecting to get that many free drinks. You know
Yeah, I
what
was
I mean?
a little off balance with her. And I guess I'm not thinking about the sometimes you can forget every free drink you get. You can forget that, and you can be not appreciative of it at first, and then you get to the point of where you're expecting it, and then it's not fun to give a gift to someone expecting a gift. That's why Santa Claus is so depressed.
Because everyone expects it from him.
Right.
Is Santa Claus depressed?
That's how he got so fat.
Yeah, I can concur on that. That'll happen to a guy. That'll happen.
Yeah, we can probably take that.
Which
part
is
out.
confusing, Charlie, because Santa is also known for being jolly. So is
Well,
that just marketing by the elves or what?
Yeah.
By big claws?
Yeah, well, he's hammered, dude, is what he is. That's
Eggnog.
rosacea
Drinks
or
too much
whatever.
Coca-Cola.
Yeah.
What do they call it? What do they call it with the rose? Rosetta? When you get red from drinking.
Flush? I don't know.
Yeah. Never heard that? Anyways. Well.
Do we got a caller? Do we got a voicemail?
Voicemail. This is real quick.
Okay. All right, Charlie. Who's the voicemail from?
Yeah, 1 second here.
Oh, yeah.
I gotta find the name. It is from Brett.
Brett with 1 T or 2 T's?
Looks like 2 T's.
Okay. Double T.
It's really short.
Hey, Brett here. Just kind of weed whacking, Nope, never mind. Nope, I don't want to do this. I'm done. Don't call me, please.
I get it. I've been there, man.
He started the bit
I've been there.
and then just immediately
Just
canceled.
gave up.
Yeah.
Just said forget about it. You could almost hear the weed whacker start.
Well, because he definitely planned it. You know,
Definitely
he was gonna-
planned it, and I think he gave it one rip, and then it just didn't go, or he pressed a button. It almost sounded like an electric weed whacker. Can we listen to that one more time? Let's listen to that. What happened?
Hey, Brett here. Just kind of weed whacking, you know? Nope, never mind. Nope, I don't want to do this. I'm done. Don't call me.
No, I don't want to do this. I'm done. Don't call me.
It definitely didn't work. It just didn't go, and he gave up.
But now I would
appreciate it.
love to know the bit he was gonna do.
I know.
You know,
I mean, if I had a weed whacker, I would say, "Hey, it's me. Just weed whacking." Thanks.
yeah.
I don't know. What bit would you do with a weed whacker?
I don't know. I think that's why it fell flat. I think
Yeah.
he realized. Would love to know how many people. They don't even get that point. They call the number, and before they even get a chance to leave voicemail, they're like, "Nope, I'm not doing this."
Same my thing. Yeah, I don't know. It's weird, you know. It's weird call-in shows. You ever call into a call-in show, Miles?
No.
I called in when I was a kid. I called into the fishing show. Tom Neubauer. He had a fishing show in Milwaukee.
And did you get through?
And me and my brother got through, and we were downstairs talking to him about how we were catching bass minnows out in the river. And then my brother hit me, and he said, "We're not supposed to be in the river. Mom and Dad might be listening." And then I changed my story live on air with Tom Neubauer.
What was the news story?
The news story was, I heard that my friend went down by the river and he was catching bass minnows. Anyway, he wanted to know if these were actually baby bass or a different species of fish because they had the little black line. Anyways, but yeah.
And what did Tom Newberger say?
Tom Neubauer, he said that those were, I believe he said that those were likely bass, you know, which makes sense because nice river ecosystem, get some good smallmouth in there. So, yeah, he said good eye. He told me you have a good eye. I said, well, it wasn't me. It was my friend. He said, I know. Good eye.
Good eye to your friend.
Yeah. So then I got my ass beat for going down by the river because my parents were listening.
Were they actually listening?
No, I'm just kidding. I mean, I got my ass beat for going down by the river, but not that particular time. So, anyways, well, good talk.
I think you should start calling into more shows.
Yeah, should
We should have a segment on this podcast where we call in to call-in shows.
That would be a good idea. That would be a great idea.
Because I'd love to call into a show. I've never done it. I've never had that thrill, and I just want to feel. Also, you know, you got to put yourself in your client's shoes, right? Like you got to be on the other end to truly appreciate what's going on.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Can I call into the Cripes cast at some point?
Yeah. When we're not on hiatus, I took a hiatus from the Cripes cast.
And how'd that feel?
Great. Fucking awesome. Less work necessary. It's just too much. I'm doing too much, man. Doing too much.
You got to relax.
Just gotta relax and enjoy life.
You know, that's what we were thinking on this podcast. We're like, God, Charlie just does way too much.
right.
You know, we're like, God, he just works way too hard. He's always showing up early, putting in the extra work.
Okay, now
You
I
know,
can tell that we've
him
hit
and his
the-
team, you know, help edit everything. And,
Yeah.
you know, it's a lot of work for Charlie to just show up and turn the mic
Oh,
on and go home.
Like you should talk about it, Miles. I was enjoying my Friday and they're like, we need questions for WGN. And I looked at the message. I was like, Miles will take care of it. 6 hours later, any idea on the questions? I typed out the questions. And apparently you couldn't be bothered because you were at the lake. So,
No, you know what I said? I go, oh, Charlie's done that before. Just have him do it. That's what I told him.
I did it. It took me 2 seconds.
It was a classic. Go ask your mom, and then you go ask. You ask your mom, and she goes, "Go ask your dad."
Or the mom just doesn't. That basically was, and then I ended up caving. That's right. They didn't ask us anything about it anyway, so
Correct. Yeah.
that was fun.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Is it? Is that?
What do you think of the call-in show Inception, where we're live on the show calling into another show?
Let's do it. Is there a website that tells us like what shows have call-ins?
I don't know.
You know, I'd like to call into like, yeah, we could role play on it too. Would that be good, or should we just be ourselves?
I don't know.
Depends on the show. Let's see. Is there a call-in show we could call in right now, Jared?
All right. Well, is that it, Charlie, for this episode?
No, Jared's. All right, that'll be it. We'll figure this out. Okay, we'll figure this out. All right, folks. Thanks for listening to Bellied Up Podcast. We appreciate you. Make sure you tip your bartender.
Love you guys. We'll see you in the next one.
Okay, hope you guys have a good one. Goodbye now. Toodaloo.